This man from Vancouver, where I live, says he accidentally unlocked and drove someone else's Tesla using the app unknowingly. He thought it was his car. How does that even happen? And is this really real? Well, we need to find out. Hey, it's me again, but from the future. Every single Tesla stock investor, I believe, needs to be aware of this and watch this whole video. Take a look for yourself.
Like a lot of drivers, Rajesh Randev has acquired a taste for Teslas. And Teslas apparently have a thing for him, white ones in particular.
I haven't watched news like this in forever. That voice sounds so dramatic.
I like it, but until I found some glitch day before yesterday.
The Vancouver businessman says he got the car last year. He and his family were enjoying its high-tech features and the savings on fuel. But then Tuesday afternoon, in a rush to pick up the kids from school, he noticed something strange.
I start driving it. I noticed there was a crack on the windshield, and then I called my wife. What happened to the windshield?
Then came a series of texts from a number he didn't know.
Next message was, you are driving the wrong Tesla car.
And indeed he was.
And what happened was, I think there was two cars, Tesla cars, which are parked side by side. And because I was in a hurry, and then I jumped into somebody's car.
One time when I was really in a hurry, I get to my Tesla and I'm trying to open the door and it doesn't open. And then I realized, oh, this is not my Tesla. That was quite embarrassing. Now I always check the license plate first before getting into the car.
Well, that's a harmless mistake. What worries Randev is why the Tesla app on his phone was apparently able to unlock another man's car, let him start it up, and then drive all over East Vancouver.
That's the crazy part. How did that happen?
His understanding is the whole point of Teslas is they're smarter than that, and he tried to contact them.
I was surprised, a few of their emails bounced back.
As of Thursday, no one from Tesla had gotten back to him. And we didn't fare much better. Reaching out to their press office, we got the same response. Sorry, mailbox full.
I was surprised how I was able to drive somebody else's car by mistake. Your car is safe? Everything is okay?
The other Tesla owner appeared more bemused than alarmed, as were the Vancouver police, who apparently declined to issue a case number, only advice to watch what happens next. Which for Randev is hopefully an explanation from Tesla HQ.
The back of that Tesla looked pretty dirty though. That alone maybe was enough to identify whose Tesla that was. Randev said the other Tesla driver told him he was able to get his number because he had printed out a document which was in his car and it had his phone number on it. Wait. So both of them were able to get in each other's cars? That's interesting. I was surprised how I was able to drive someone else's car by mistake for an hour and a half while his car was in his hand. Okay, so it makes sense how one person can mix up the car. That certainly makes sense, but how did the other guy get into the other guy's car? That seems a little bit off because, you would probably realize it's not your Tesla. They also said these vehicles had different wheels, so you are more likely to notice. Unless that person was also in a rush and he just tried to open the door and boom, the car opened. And maybe he forgot where he parked exactly as well. That's maybe possible, but this seems a little bit weird. But Randev said he reached out to Tesla with the video evidence, but he had some emails bounce back and no one has contacted him so far. Okay, so maybe it's actually real. If he has video evidence, that would suggest it is probably real. What I thought was when he got into this other person's car, that he realized he was not driving his own car and that he looked through the documents and found the other person's phone number and then texted him. But no, that's not the case. He got into the other person's car, He just drove it for some time, and then he got a text from an unknown number, which turns out to be from a guy that got into his Tesla, and this other guy is texting him, "Are you driving my Tesla?" basically. Although I think what he might be saying here is that he had some sort of document printed out, maybe where it was visible from outside, and he saw the phone number, because it's not clear how this is worded. I was surprised how I was able to drive someone else's car by mistake for an hour and a half while his car was in his hand. I think what he meant to say was while my car was in his hands. So that part does not make full sense to me here. One member of the Inside EVs forum speculates the vehicle may have been left unlocked and in valet mode, but there is no indication that was actually the case. But here's the thing about the valet mode. Without a key, the car will drive until the driver gets out of the car. Then it won't start anymore. That could have happened if he just drove off and then did not park, and if he just kept driving, that's possible. But according to Global News, he got out of the car. He actually parked the car, and then he got back in. He was able to get in the car again, drive it again, and pick up his children from school, and the two met up to set things right. So I think we can rule out the valet mode out of this probably. And if it was in valet mode, that's very easy to tell. A lot of settings are not available. So yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think they would have mentioned that. I'm going to search the whole internet and see if there's anything more to this, but here is my most logical explanation as of right now with the information I know so far. Possibly there was a key fob left inside one of the cars, the car that the guy got into, and then, yeah, of course, you can drive off and maybe the car was just not locked. That would be the most logical explanation. However, if both of them were able to get into each other's cars, that sounds just a little bit far-fetched to have that as an explanation, because I don't think both of them would have their key fobs left. Although certainly a possibility, the probability of that is not high. I just finished doing some research. I found this Washington Post article. Turns out the whole thing is even messier than I thought, and it was definitely not the key fobs, it appears. So here we go. Mahmoud, who owns the Tesla that Randev drove off in, was at home at the time. He said he had loaned his car to his brother Mohammed, who was using it to run an errand. When Mohammed returned to where he had parked, he noticed the remaining Tesla had a different interior, and it wasn't Mahmoud's. He called Mahmoud, who was able to track the location of his car being driven by Randev on his app, but when he attempted to remotely lock the Tesla from his phone, it failed. So that's not exactly great. Although, I guess if a car is driven, I never tried this with a Tesla car. If a car is being driven, can you lock it or unlock it? Probably not, right? Or maybe you can. I'm not sure. Mohammed was able to access Randev's car using Mahmoud's key card. Okay, so it's like they switched the cars entirely. He found medical documents in Randev's car with his phone number, and Mahmoud called Randev to explain the mix-up. They were both stunned to learn that they could access each other's cars. Randev, still pressed for time, asked for Mahmoud's permission to use his car to pick up his children from school. He dropped them off at home and then drove back to the restaurant where his Tesla was parked. About an hour and a half of driving around Vancouver, all without encountering any problems accessing Mahmoud's car using his phone app, he said. Outside the restaurant, he took video of the two cars and demonstrated the issue on camera. If just a normal person was able to get access to someone else's car due to malfunction or software or whatever reason, the hackers can do anything, right? Randev said. We have more details from Torque News from Jeremy. He also says that He has once tried to open someone else's Tesla by accident, just like me, so that makes me feel better, certainly. Leave a comment down below if you ever tried to open someone else's Tesla by accident. He searched online for more cases of this, and it has happened before, but it doesn't happen very often. So it seems like it's not the first time this happened. Well, this has been crazy. If you are a Tesla employee or you know someone who works at Tesla, try to make sure that Tesla is aware of this issue, and Tesla should certainly investigate this specific case. Maybe there's some sort of obvious explanation that we are all missing, and maybe it is not a technical glitch. But if it is, Tesla really needs to work on this like right now, immediately. If by any chance we have multiple cases of this happening, this could have an impact on sales, certainly. I've done some research before when someone I know had their car stolen about keyless theft, and turns out it's so easy to get into someone else's car. If there is keyless entry into the car, you can do it very fast and it's pretty simple. But this is not a thief trying to get in. This is someone with their own key basically getting into the wrong Tesla. That should never happen. Leave comments down below. What do you think is possible here? Is there something that I'm missing? Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it's some sort of obvious explanation. But I don't know. This seems like it could be an actual software glitch. In which case, Tesla, you need to work on this like right now. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. I'm sure they're going to fix this. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.